known by its map designation as Area 51.
We're now learning Area 51,
known as Area 51.
Thank you for
Near
clearing that
Area
up.
51.
Thank you.
Known as Area 51.
Because Area 51 is very important.
They called him Jimmy, and everybody wanted to be his friend.
Was good. Welcome here to Area 51 here with Jimmy James to the truth about boxing. For all those people who like boxing, welcome to our show. One more time here, we're telling you the truth about what we think about what's going on in the boxing world. And all you got to do is subscribe, like, and also share our content if you like what we're saying here. So today I want to talk a little bit about this situation between David Benavidez and Morrell Jr. Morrell Jr. just beat Aidos Yerbosuli. He is a Kazakh fighter who came and who was ranked number 1 to fight him for his interim title. And Morrell Jr. just put this guy in a coma, okay? The entire fight, Morrell Jr. completely dominated the fight. The other Kazakh fighter didn't know what to do because he just, Morrell Jr. just has a really good style. He knows how to use his jab. He knows how to move. He knows how to combine certain jabs. He knows how to throw uppercuts. And he's just a really good fighter, especially for his length. Also, his leg movement was just, phenomenal. So now, Morrell Jr., who's a fighter that not a lot of people speak about, but I am going to speak about. I was one of the first ones to interview him when he was getting up and being more known. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, he beat Lennox Allen, who I think that was for the WBA interim title, and the guy I think was Jamaican, but he was actually pretty good. And then he beat Mario Casares, and after that, he's had a few other scraps, but now that he's beat this guy, now he's catch himself a better name. But he's had decent competition so far. And I think that this guy is going to be very avoided. I said it when he first showed up. I even told him to his face that I thought that a lot of fighters would avoid him. I think a lot of fighters just don't want to lose their record with especially Cuban fighters who, just happen to be, historically speaking, very technical. And I think this is what this guy is offering in the division in 168. Now everybody's waiting for this fight between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, which is going to be an interesting fight, and I will give my prediction on that fight. But right now, I'm just going to put something that I want to make something clear. Now, let me actually see something here. Let me check here something real quick. Tell you right now. Just want to confirm. Yeah, so the fight's not confirmed still with David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. I mean, I have to see confirmation. I always go to BoxRec and check whether this is true or not. There's a lot of fighters that skip out the fight, when they had the fight already signed suddenly, or they tell you they had it signed, suddenly it's not in the record, it's not official, can't trust it, so it is what it is. But now that Morrell Jr. has shown what he's shown, and once again, to me, it's just something that he's always done. The question is Canelo Alvarez going to fight him? And the answer to that is no, he's not going to fight Morrell Jr. Because Morrell Jr. will beat the living shit out of Canelo Alvarez. Morrell Jr. will even knock out Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is not prepared for a fighter like Morrell Jr. Now, there's a lot of Canelo fans who come and tell me and say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Morrell Jr. hasn't fought anybody, and yada, yada, yada. That's okay. He doesn't have to fight anybody to beat him, okay? And by the way, his style and also being Cuban makes him more dangerous than all the English fighters that he's fought, Okay, Canelo Alvarez has only fought British fighters. All that Canelo's done is duck people who he thinks are going to beat him. Jermall Charlo was stuck by Canelo Alvarez. Demetrius Andrade, he wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez for an undisputed championship. And also when he had the WBO also in 154, and Canelo Alvarez never wanted to take that fight because he didn't want to fight certain fighters, especially if they're undefeated. Look at all the trouble that Canelo has given the boxing fans trying to make a fight with David Benavidez, who we all know is the most dangerous fighter in that division. Canelo was given his belt. Okay? He was given the WBC belt. He requested for Avdi Gildrum. It's in The Athletic. They published it. They didn't force it. He requested it. And the WBC could have easily changed that proposition and say, you know what? Yeah, we'll give you the belt, but you need to fight David Benavidez, if we give you the belt. Or you're going to have to wait 6 months, which he could have done easily. He did it with Gennady Golovkin. He could have done it with David Benavidez as well. But the WBC is pro-Mexican, and unfortunately, that's what happens. When you're a pro something, you're always going to be biased towards that pro thing that you're about. So it was not a good thing. I wasn't happy. And I thought personally that it was just, messed up. I don't believe that Canelo Alvarez is undisputed. To me, Canelo Alvarez is not an undisputed champion. He was given a belt. He didn't fight for the belt. He was given and he requested a fight. That's not undisputed to me. And I've mentioned that many times. But he ducked Benavidez. And then he was talking about, Eddie Reynoso was talking about making a David Benavidez fight in 2 years. In 2 years? Fuck that. But you're already talking about fighting Makabu. And then you're talking about fighting Dimitri Bivol at 175. But what is it so difficult to make a fight with David Benavidez? I mean, you will want to beat him now that he's fresh. But it's not going to happen. Because David Benavidez will beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. Bet on it, baby. Bet on it. David Benavidez will retire Canelo Alvarez. And so will Dave Morrell Jr. And at the end of the day, these fighters like Canelo Alvarez, they are commercial heroes who are lacking fights that they should be taking. Okay? Bernard Hopkins was a 168 fighter who ended up in 175, and the dude fought absolutely everybody he could. He tried to fight everybody. He became undisputed at 160. He didn't duck anybody. He fought everybody. But now we have a fighter like Canelo Alvarez who picks and chooses the fighters that he wants, and now he's spending time in playing golf, but he doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. So who is he going to pick? He's probably going to pick another European. You're going to see some British guy, like a Zach Parker or somebody like that. He's going to pick somebody, but he's not going to fight these fighters. And I just think that when the melanin or the color is a little darker, whether it's David Benavidez, Dave Morrell, Demetrius Andrade, Jermall Charlo, he would rather pick somebody who's a white fighter because he believes, or at least he has more confidence that he's going to beat them. But he's still young. Canelo Alvarez, he can easily fight Dave Morrell Jr. and he can easily fight David Benavidez. But he has to get the fight. He has to do it. And I think he's going to duck Dave Morrell Jr. as well. And it's very unlikely that we will see him fight. And the worst part about this is that he's going to have all his belts hostage, which is even worse. So that's what I think is going to happen. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you like what I say here. I'm pretty raw when I say things. So please subscribe, give us a like, and also share our content. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace out and hagone, like the natives say. Deuces.